light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Fantastic job. West Point Band playing tribute to Paul Buddy Buca, proud veteran, fierce advocate for others, passed away at the age of 80. We have much more ahead on this New York City Veterans Day Parade here on Fifth Avenue. We hope you can join us for much more. We'll be right back after this break.
Step into your
Blue Stars, Moms, part of the national chapter of Blue Star Mothers of America. They began in World War II in Flint, Michigan, has over 6,000 members from over 200 chapters in the United Nations. This is military families doing such important work. A dedicated band of mothers, stepmothers, grandmothers who have children serving in the military or who are veterans.
And David, I want to acknowledge the Gold Star families there as well, as far as the Gold Stars, those parents whose children make the ultimate sacrifice in service.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. And Gold Star Wives is a congressionally chartered nonprofit service organization that provides services to the active duty and service-connected military surviving spouses. And the organization dates back to 1946.
Yep. Again, if you are out posting on social media, tag us by using the hashtag NYC Vets Day. In addition, you're watching today on the broadcast at ABC7. All the festivities are also being streamed at nycvetsday.org. And today's ABC7 NY broadcast is also being streamed at nycvetday.org. So a lot of stuff that we're watching through social media, and just have to say thank you to the vets today. We saw some of the Wounded Warrior Project floats and the group that are here supporting. I want to go back to that. The Wounded Warrior Project began in 2003 when volunteers providing comfort to wounded service members returning from Iraq and Afghanistan by delivering backpacks filled with personal care items to the hospital bedsides.
The organization, David, has really evolved to meet the growing needs of warriors, their families, and caregivers through programs that provide mental health care, career counseling, long-term rehabilitative care, advocacy, and so much more. They've really expanded over the years across the country.
Joining us now with a personal perspective on the impact of the Wounded Warrior Project is Army National Guard veteran and warrior leader Antoinette Wallace. Antoinette, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Such a pleasure. You know, you got a major here with you on the same branch.
I know. Yes, ma'am.
So, talk to us a little bit about your experience.
Sure. So I joined the Army National Guard in 2002 after experiencing the towers falling on 9/11. I served from 2002 to 2011, including a deployment to Iraq in support of Operation African Freedom in 2005.
Right. So I was there a few years after you, and it's incredible to hear everyone's story as to why they joined. I mean, same for me. After 9/11, being here in New York City, hometown, just kind of feeling that urge to be part of something larger, be part of a bigger organization, and make a difference. What's it like being here as a veteran at the parade?
So I don't miss the Veterans Day Parade ever. This is something that is very sacred to me. I like to call it sometimes a reunion. There are some people, especially because you said you're like from the home, this is like the hometown, you see people that you deployed with, that you served with, that you haven't seen maybe since you came back. So this is a very important event to me because I still, although I'm not wearing the uniform anymore, I still feel that call to service, and being able to see the American people come out and support us means a lot.
you were a recipient of what they give and with some of the work at the Wounded Warrior Project, and now you're on the other side helping others. Tell me what that feels like.
Yeah, so our logo, essentially, there's a warrior up top being carried, and on the bottom is another warrior carrying them. I used to be the warrior being carried, but now I've come so far as a result of their programs and what they offer us, that I feel like I'm carrying my fellow warriors now. Their programs have been life-changing for me and my family, and I really do think that without them, I wouldn't be here today.
We want to just tell the audience, we got this great flag out, and the significance of it. We want to get back to you real quick, but this is the Garrison flag, the largest military flag. It measures 20 by 36, flies on national holidays and other special occasions. It's carried by members of the UWBC Health and Wellness Program. So wanted to talk a little bit about that, since that's what's happening in the parade. But getting back to you, how can people, if they're not part of the military family, help when they see and think to themselves, I want to support the Wounded Warrior Project, I want to support our veterans? What are you excited about?
So you can visit www.woundedwarriorproject.org to get involved. There is a lot of information there that will help you tailor how you would like to help. But we have people that aren't involved in the military that are interested in the organization, and it goes a long way. So to our sponsors, to everyone that supports us, we appreciate you and thank you so much.
Awesome. We mentioned the flag for UWBC, the Garrison flag. I believe the float is coming up right now. We'd love to give them a little heads up and just a little love for being with what they do and for being here at the parade and their support. And James, you know every float that goes by, right?
Yeah, actually, I'd love to goes estimate every veteran family who's watching this right now who does not know about Wounded Warrior Project. What do you want them to know?
I want them to know that this organization has personally changed my life. I've never spent a dime on any programs that they offer. Everything that they have done for me has been at no cost. So if you're a veteran looking for support or programs to get you back to being a civilian, please check us out at Wounded Warrior Project, and I promise it'll be worth your while.
Really, really great message. So wonderful to have you up here with us, Antoinette. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
So nice to meet you.
Happy Veterans Day.
When we come back, we'll have many more special guests. Stay with us. It's the New York City Veterans Day Parade right here along Fifth Avenue. We'll be right back.
The greatest stage on earth.
God bless your father, and thank you for your service. God bless both of you. Thank you. Back to you, David and Stephanie.
Thank you, Lucy.
Thank you for their service.
We just saw the U.S. Customs and Border Protection troop there march on by here on Fifth Avenue. Nearly 35% of the CBP workforce is made up of veterans. With more than 60,000 employees, U.S. Customs and Border Protection is really one of the world's largest law enforcement organizations.
We'll be right back. Fifth Avenue with more of the 2024 New York City Veterans Day Parade on ABC7 NY.
Are currently serving in the Guard and Reserve. So we really laud Tim Cowley, the CEO there, and his entire team for going out of their way to, they send teams downrange to wherever we are to recruit veterans to come work within the Con Ed community. So we thank them for what they do.
And they've won so many awards and just recognition for their work with veterans. Really doing a tremendous job here in the city.
Well, James, we're going to ask you to switch hats from being a spokesperson and an expert to being a co-host. And we have other jobs for you, because all of you military people have multiple jobs. I mean, it's incredible.
Multitasking.
Another proud sponsor of the parade is Salesforce, a technology company committed to supporting the success of veterans and their families. Their dedication to veterans hits close to home for our next guest, whose passion for service was inspired by that of his grandfather and father.
We want to welcome Richard Bell, Director and Account Partner at Salesforce and U.S. Marine Corps veteran. Richard, it's great to have you here.
Thank you.
Share with us your experience. How did your family's service really lead you to where you are today?
Yeah, I mean, it's been it's been I'll say a tradition in my family for a very long time. Both my grandfathers served in the military. My father, both my older brothers, myself, and then my youngest sister is still actually actively serving now. She's a major in the U.S. Army.
Oh, that's awesome. You know, let me ask you something. This is an international company, right? I mean,
It is,
you help out across the world.
Yeah, we've helped hire or place over 60,000 veterans since 2015, and it's really something that I feel is missing in the space. When I exited the Marine Corps, there wasn't a ton of assistance, especially looking into the technology sector. And Salesforce's philanthropy arm has really helped with Salesforce Military expand that into a place where veterans and their spouses have an opportunity to get into really high-paying tech careers.
And I've heard of Salesforce for quite some time. I mean, they've been just a dedicated partner in this effort to bring veterans on to tech. So what are some of the programs that are available, and how can people learn more?
Yeah, so Salesforce Military is utilizing our learning tool, which is called Trailhead, and it is a community as well as a self-paced learning tool that allows for veterans and their spouses to get Salesforce certifications free of charge. Like I said, they can find roles that place them into high-paying careers. They can work remotely, which really benefits both the veterans themselves and the spouses especially. You know, it's difficult to hold down a job when you have to move every 2 or 3 years.
And it's great that you guys understand that as a company.
James, I want to include you as our co-host. Do you have a question for him?
Richard, if I'm a veteran and I'm thinking about, leveraging Salesforce technology, looking at it as a way for, as an entrepreneur, as an employee, what would you recommend I do? What is step one?
Yeah, just go online and go to veterans.salesforce.com, and you will find our site. You go in, you log in. It's pretty easy. You can actually go through ID Me, and you set up an account and start your journey. There's a really interactive community as well. So you have any questions, you get stuck on something you don't really get to figure out. There are people all over the world active in that community who will help guide you and give you some answers. We have coaches who really help out. So it's truly kind of trying to cover all bases.
Richard, thank you so much. Thank you for what you do and for Salesforce and their support of the military.
Thank you for having us.
And James, our co-host for just a little bit this morning, this afternoon, thank you for your time. I know you have to head out. You're headed to the Intrepid?
Yes. Doing an observation there. Stephanie, always say this. Thank you so much for your service. Want to make sure we give you your roses too, to you and everyone here putting this together. We appreciate all you do for our veteran and military families, and thank you for being in the uniform.
Thank you so much. Thanks for the support. Really appreciate it.
All right, and Mark Otto will be returning to help us with our coverage. So we'll always have some help from the experts on the big table here. We appreciate it. Military fraternities and sororities from around the country, including Arkansas, Tennessee, and Florida, are right here in New York. We'll tell you more about that right after the break. Stick around.
We'll be right back.
Veterans Day is November 11th. It's a day when we recognize those who form the uniforms in service of the United States. Today and every day, Cushman and Wakefield and C&W Services recognize those who've answered the call and continue to do so. And we recognize that better never settles.
There's nothing average about the Air Force Academy or those who come here.
It takes more than smart and good grades.
It takes grit.
It's for the I never quit students, the relentless, persevering, most likely to keep trying until I reach my best students.
Because we will go on to lead others, push boundaries, save lives, and represent American ideals.
If you've got what it takes, prove it.
Marines are made for this. Made for the calling only warriors can answer. Made from an unshakable belief in our nation. The strength, trust, and determination to win together. But you have to earn your place among us. Because you don't join the Marines. You become one.
We are on Fifth Avenue here in New York City at the 2024 Veterans Day Parade. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, it's not too late. We still have a lot going on here. You are listening to the U.S. Coast Guard Academy.
That's right. Academy Top Military College, granting Bachelor of Science degrees. And and one of 9 engineering or professional majors. Graduates earn a commission as an ensign in the Coast Guard. They're located right on the Thames River in New York, London, Connecticut. Each year, approximately 200 graduates are commissioned as Coast Guard officers to help ensure the safety, security, and stewardship of our nation's waters.
And who knew New York City is a Coast Guard city? Really neat. The roots of today's Coast Guard were established in 1790 by Alexander Hamilton. Come on, David, that was your second opportunity.
Not when you're doing it so well. Okay. I feel like I'm not going to overshadow you.
Well, Hamilton proposed a seagoing military service that really would enforce customs and navigation laws, but pivoting from the Coast Guard to the U.S. Army.
Wait a minute. Aren't you a major in this
you got that right,
particular
sir.
branch?
That's right.
Okay, I'm saluting you, as I always do.
22 years strong. It's incredible. Time goes by so fast, but it has been a very rewarding and unique experience, and it really wouldn't be possible without understanding employers along the way, ABC News, Disney, and also understanding commanders that understand I've got 2 roles, and then other roles at home, house manager, carpool mom, soccer mom. So
I'm getting stressed hearing all your many hats.
It really does, but the United States Army is really the largest and oldest branch of the U.S. military. Since 1775, the Army has defended America's freedoms and protected the liberty of our friends and allies around the world.
Let's get back to the street there. Lucy's joined by 2 special guests to talk about the Army. Hey, Lucy.
Well, David and Stephanie, I'm so excited to introduce you to Brigadier General John Lloyd with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, North Atlantic Division Commander and Division Engineer, and Philip Milio, a U.S. Army veteran. General, you've made a career in the Army. Tell us about the opportunities the Army has to offer.
Lucy, I think the Army has a tremendous amount of opportunity for young people. I enlisted in the Army at 18 years old and then later went into ROTC and got a commission. I think today's Army is everything a young person would want to do. The opportunity, the ability, I've had a chance to grow my family, travel around the world, and really, most importantly, serve our nation. It's been a tremendous opportunity for me, and I've really enjoyed everything the Army's given to me, my family, and I know everybody out there who wants to serve not only in the Army, but the military would gain a lot out of it.
And General, how important are veterans to the Army?
Well, veterans are hugely important, not just to the Army, but to all the military service. We have 18 million veterans in the United States. Less than 1% serve in the military. The Army makes a conscientious effort to really take care of our families and our veterans. And here in New York City, you can see that today as we take pause to honor them. Not a better place to be on Veterans Day than here in the city.
Thank you, General. Phil, you served in Vietnam, and you remember the poor reception Vietnam veterans received when they returned. What does it mean to you to see this outpouring of support of Fifth Avenue, sir?
Well, this is the most beautiful thing I've seen in a long time. There's so many thousands of people not only in the parade, but watching the parade. We were not thanked when we came home, and this is really making up for it. The parade that happens here on 11 November every year also celebrates the armistice from World War I. So I'm very, very proud and happy to see such a great crowd here today.
Belated thank you to you, Phil. And these days you're working as a photographer, actor, writer. What would you say to younger veterans who are interested in the creative arts?
Well, there's so many opportunities and skills that you learn in the Army or in the military. Being in the armed forces teaches you a trade for the armed forces. A lot of that is transferable into civilian life. I was very, very happy to know that there were so many grateful people in New York, especially since the Middle East wars that have just ended recently. And Americans are very supportive of veterans all around, so much different than in 1970s.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, General. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Back to you, Stephanie, David.
Thank you, Lucy. In the background, we're just watching NYU, so a group going by. But I want to talk about some of the other things that are happening. ABC's Bob Woodruff and his wife, Lee, have spent nearly 2 decades helping veterans, service members, and their families through their foundation, working to ensure that those who have stood with our nation attain stable and successful futures.
Absolutely. And right now, just take a look at the parade route. You're seeing Fordham University, ROTC, that group. I'm a Rams. I went to Fordham University for ROTC, so got to shout them out. Wonderful group there. But back to Stand Up for Heroes, that event that Bob Woodruff and his foundation puts on every year. That event takes place tonight. I have covered it for ABC's Nightline. I've attended it as a guest, and what they do for military service members is just incredible. The amount of funds that they raise for them, it's truly remarkable. But here's ABC's Good Morning America's Robin Roberts with a look at their mission and the incredible impact of those efforts.
At its core, Stand Up for Heroes is on a mission to help our nation's veterans, service members, and their families live a brighter future.
Me and my little brother Benny, we help him like sometimes Dad gets a pain on his leg.
The event, presented by the Bob Woodruff Foundation, founded by Bob and his wife Lee, after Bob's armored vehicle was hit by a roadside bomb in Iraq in 2006 while he was on assignment. Bob's remarkable recovery, inspiring the couple to shine a light on U.S. service members who are dealing with the impact of hidden injuries.
Do you have many memories of when your fathers were injured in the war?
When I saw him, I just ran to him because I was very happy that he was still alive.
One of the foundation's greatest supporters, Craig Newmark, founder of the web-based platform Craigslist.
People might need a hand across the street, around the corner.
Since 2020, their combined efforts have collectively benefited more than 4.5 million people across 80 veterans organizations.
It's nice to know that there's organizations out there. You don't have to go through this by yourself.
Stand Up for Heroes' 18th annual fundraising gala is happening tonight in New York City. Everyday heroes stepping up, opening their hearts and pocketbooks to support our veterans.
Well, what Bob and his wife have accomplishments, and everybody that's been part of that program is just remarkable.
18 years now, going strong. We're taking a live look at the parade now. Back to the red carpet. You can see the American Legion, Department of New York. They are from Troy, New York. The American Legion is the nation's largest wartime veterans organization, and their commitments include mentoring youth and sponsoring really just wholesome community programs. American Legion Baseball is one of the nation's most successful amateur athletic programs, educating young people as well. They also have another program called their Heroes to Hometowns program that connects local Legionnaires with recovering wounded warriors and their families through a variety of support activities.
We want to welcome back our Mark Otto. Mark, you've been out there making sure everything's going good. You've organized this, one of the big organizers of this parade. How's it going out there? What's the reaction you get from everybody?
It's really an incredible parade. I mean, I've been involved since 2016. I can't think of a better weather day than we have today.
This is a good
yeah, so seeing the crowds out there, I actually walked part of the route before I had to come back, but just seeing everybody and, you know, the expressions on their faces and the veterans, it's just amazing.
There are so many participants, so many people that take part in this parade here in New York City. Again, one of the largest Veterans Day events in the country. When do you all start planning for this? Like, what does that look like for
Yeah,
you
I mean,
when
we're
you're
looking at the
producing this?
military veterans of Kings County. You reach out to all of the different groups, right? Like this group here and say, hey, what are you going to do? We need you at the parade.
So we start planning for next year tomorrow. So we do a hot wash of what went on with this parade, and next year is a big year for us. It's going to be the 250th of the Army, Navy, and Marine Corps. And then after that, in 26, it's going to be the 250th of the nation. So we have a couple of really big years coming up. We're super excited, but it does take an entire year to plan it.
That's a really, really big deal. Well, thank you so much. Tomorrow's going to be a busy day for you too, I guess. Start planning tomorrow.
Yeah.
You're taking a look at the Richmond County Corvette Club from Staten Island, New York. Established in 1995, dedicated to all of those people who share a common interest and appreciation of the Corvette.
Stick around.
Yeah, we will be right back.